You can't be scared when you get up this high, especially knowing that there's one nail every 3 feet to hold. Always stop your conduit above ground, because wires are made for weed eaters. It's a $1.5 million house. You know they calling us to do the repairs. If we have downspout scraps, we're gonna use them. The more seams, the better. Probably gonna run some backwards too. If you can't really hear your washer and dryer buzzer go off, just make your door where it won't shut. You'll hear it then. I mean, these tips are gold. Running gutters backwards is the only way to catch condensation. You'd know this if you were a pro. But you're not. These downspouts just look like they grew this way. That's how good we are. When we do plumbing, we keep in mind you may not need the extra hose length. Perfect. They wanted a door. We mounted the hinges, but the door wouldn't shut with the meter can, so we just mounted a light on the top of it and called it a day. You probably think we're looking at this gutter, but that thing carries some water. No, you're wrong. It's just a disguise to cover the copper. Custom ain't custom if it ain't unique. And if we did it, it's gonna be unique. You can say that again. And we did it. Matthew. Just in case you want to move your toilet paper hanger back where it was, now you can tell. And you can also tell we ain't paint behind the toilets. We take pride in being the best painters around. But you can bet we ain't going no higher than we can reach. Safety. If you're not using strips of outdoor carpet for pipe insulation, what are you really doing with your life? You're probably out there showing people how to do trim work, because I mean, look, Matthew, this is amazing. By flipping receptacles upside down, you make them waterproof. When doing handrails, most people overlook expansion and contraction. Keep that in mind for water runoff, along with curls. When installing exterior doors, always leave a gap so people can see your header and your moisture barrier, knowing that it's there. Knowledge is key, and this is perfection. Just use whatever elbow you got. Water's gonna flow downhill. When you're securing your bottom handrails, always leave the wood blowouts from the screw so that they can be painted and stained. Then people know that it was screwed. Great example, Matthew. I appreciate that. Multi-directional hose bibs is good enough specialty, which is why we don't fix stuff if you can't see it. And we are not ever hanging anything if we don't do the nail test to find studs first. Remarkable. If we put a piece of trim in backwards, it's now not backwards, so we're gonna nail it to the wall. Landlord special. We know that homeowners want to know where things were. We make that possible. And if you're not out there caulking seams like this, I won't hire you. We go above and beyond your expectations, leaving you in awe. And have no fear, this is a waterproof disconnect. And this is a perfect example of how gutters and downspouts should be installed. Shove it in. Forget about transferring load with stair stringers. Just make sure there's a screw in there to hold the weight. Always misalign your boards for water drainage. That's how we do it. Condensation weep holes are imperative in a flat roof ceiling. And running your wire along the stairs is an industry code. Everybody knows it. Do you need access to the attic? Well, then call us. Boom, got you big. Water drainage is imperative in the mountains. It's a must. And most times, just starting an installation is good enough. Only real construction people know that this is how the pros do it. Modifications are part of the construction industry. And when we're doing trim, we might run short a board or two. If we do, we will scab it in. You'll never know. We're just out here leaving access panels everywhere. And that's called forethought. Leaving gaps in boards is critical when dry weather comes and things begin to shrink. But this little guy wasn't worried about a gap. Having curvy handrails always keeps your attention, making it less likely that you fall. And you know by now we've already thought about water drainage. When installing brick fireplaces, you don't need to grout all the way up, just in certain spots. And vents don't always need to be installed outside. We know that cutting tile is important. Now the plumber knows where to put your shower trim.